Thank you, Your Honor.
Justice Villarama.
Thank you, Chief. Lady Counsel, so
Yes,
just
Your
one
Honor.
or two questions. You've been standing there for more than 2 hours already. Now, still on this full range of modern family planning methods, if there may be other types of contraceptives that are proven safe and have no psychological effect on the mothers, let's say declared by the Department of Health or the DFA to be safe, proven, would you still maintain the constitutional objection on the ground that it violates the right to health?
If Your Honor, please, okay. Again, I think it's very, very important that there is a recognition first of when life begins. Because if our government agencies maintain that life begins at implantation, as I think it is the position adopted right now, then we have that's an irreconcilable difference, Your Honor, because that will really pose, unnecessary risk on the life and safety of the fertilized ovum. So if there's and that's also our position insofar as delegating the right to DFA to determine which are abortifacient or not. Because if the standard is that life begins at implantation, then we really have a serious problem there. So, but if there's an agreement that life indeed begins at fertilization, which is the correct thing, Your Honor, because life really begins at fertilization. If there's an agreement insofar as that is concerned, and if science has improved and is able to develop a contraceptive that's truly safe, then definitely we will not have any objection to that, at least insofar as Section 12, Article 2 is concerned.
Do I get you right that any contraceptive, you're against it?
Right now, Your Honor, because there are no contraceptives, hormonal contraceptives, when I say contraceptives, hormonal contraceptives that are proven to be safe and non-abortifacient.
Okay. Let's go to this natural family planning. The law mandates also the implementation of this natural family planning, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you have no objection to a legislation that exclusively promotes and requires the use of natural family planning methods by all Filipino couples? Will it be less morally objectionable if only the NFP is allowed by law? Is there any existing church program that educates and supports natural family planning methods? If so, have they determined its success rate in terms of naturally preventing pregnancy?
If Your Honor, please, insofar as Section 12, Article 2 is concerned, which is the basis of our petition, then if we talk of natural family planning method, we're not talking of any hormones or hormonal contraceptives, of course. Mm-hmm. And probably if government will spend the 3 billion pesos into, explaining how natural family planning method or the different methods of natural family planning could be done, then probably we'll achieve whatever this RH law seeks to achieve, Your Honor.
Don't you think the anticipation of pregnancy prevention in natural family planning method based on the woman's fertile period also amounts to an anti-life behavior, considering that it has the same result? Prevention of fertilization.
No, I don't think it may. It doesn't. The process is very different, Your Honor, because again, there is no risk that there's going to be a fertilized ovum who's going to be exposed to risk. There's not going to be any fertilization in the event of in case of a use of natural family planning method, Your Honor.
That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Justice Reyes.
Good afternoon, Madam Counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You mentioned that under Republic Act 10354, it violates even the international law affecting...
I'm sorry, but I cannot hear, Your Honor.
You mentioned during your disquisition that... can't hear. You mentioned that during your disquisitions that under Republic Act 10354, it violates even the international law affecting the crime of genocide. Am I right?
Yes, that's the subject of, Senator Tatad mentioned that, Your Honor.
We must, Madam Counsel, we must emphasize that the law protects the right to life of unborn child from conception. It does not sanction the killing or abortion of the unborn child. It only prevents the meeting of the sperm and the egg. Am I right, Madam Counsel?
That's the declared policy, Your Honor. But if you look at the different provisions of the RH law very carefully, the declared policy is not being carried out, Your Honor, because that's our position.
But is it not in genocide, the lives of whether the unborn or the born human beings, they are completely annihilated? Or
Yes, precisely, Your Honor. So even those who...
I don't see any
even those who are
similarity.
Yes, those who are not conceived yet or not yet the unborn.
From my point of view, the constitutional intent is to prohibit the passage of an abortion statute.
Yes, that's the constitutional intent, Your Honor.
And not to prohibit contraception.
To prohibit abortion or making abortion possible, because the Constitutional Commission, took a very the safest approach, a very prudent approach, in order to protect that unborn, from the moment of conception.
Do you agree with me, Madam Counsel, that the purpose of the law is it is a contraception statute rather than abortion statute? Can you agree with that proposition, Madam Counsel?
So in short, that it prohibits contraception. What is the point, Your Honor? I'm sorry, I cannot understand.
Under that specific law, it is a contraception statute rather than abortion statute.
The RH law, you mean, Your Honor?
Yeah, that particular law, RA.
It provides for widespread contraception, Your Honor, which may lead into abortion, Your Honor. That's our position. Because of the mandated widespread dissemination of contraceptives, Your Honor, then that may lead to abortion. That's our position, Your Honor.
Well, do you agree with me, Madam Counsel, that one of the plausible solutions to our country's population growth problem is family planning, whether it entails natural or artificial methods of planning? Do you agree?
If Your Honor, please, the question is premised that the big population is a problem. The RH law also says that human resource is an asset. So by saying that, then it should not recognize the population, the big population as a problem, because it should be an asset of the country. And the Philippine Constitution has done away, while it was in the 1973 Constitution about controlling the population, the 1987 Constitution did away with the provision on population control, Your Honor.
But let us be practical, Madam Counsel, and we have to succumb to reality of life. Of course, you will agree with me, Madam Counsel, that the majority of the Filipinos belongs to underprivileged and poor families. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes, many of us are poor. Yes, Your Honor. That's a fact.
That based on statistical census, the poorer the families are, they have more children than both of us who are more privileged, educated, and affluent. Agree, Madam Counsel?
Well, there are statistics, there's some findings to that effect. Yes, Your Honor.
Statistics-wise, the children of the children of most of the underprivileged and poor have less access to basic necessities in life. That is shelter, education, food, medicine, and they are living under the state of helplessness and hopelessness. And the government, and so much of the government funds subsidize the poor and the underprivileged. Would you agree with me?
Yes. Well, if Your Honor, please, I think the problem, while poverty is a problem, I think population control is not the solution, nor is this contraception a solution. The solution to that, Your Honor, is proper governance and setting up the right priorities, Your Honor. So we're barking at the wrong tree, Your Honor. I mean, the government is barking at the wrong tree.
One of the purposes of the government, dissemination, information system in order for the people who are, most specifically, those who are less privileged, and the poor to have knowledge that they should contain their children. Is it not? That's one of the purposes of that specific law, Madam Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, but then you do not accomplish that by spending billions of pesos on harmful contraceptives, Your Honor, because you're not solving a problem, you're adding more problems, Your Honor, in that way. And you cannot really foster the common good in that sense, Your Honor.
Do you agree with me, Madam Counsel, that chances are the same people, meaning to say the less privileged and the poor, would multiply and multiply, and the cycle will repeat by itself?
Yes, Your Honor. If the solution is contraception, then you're not really addressing the root problem of poverty, Your Honor. Then poverty continues, and because more people are going to get sick, many people are going to get hopeless because they remain poor. Because when you introduce contraceptives, you don't put food on the table. You take contraceptives and that's it. You do not address your poverty.
But the government is trying its best to solve the influx of populations, because at this point we all know that majority of the Filipinos belongs to underprivileged and poor families, and chances are this same group of families will multiply and multiply, and there will come a time that the government would no longer support the needs of those people.
But there's a fundamental problem there, Your Honor, because by doing that through contraception, then you're not really looking after the unborn. And then, as Senator Tatad said, the posterity. I mean, you do not secure the right to life of the unborn and posterity, because eventually wipe out. You cannot speak of future generations anymore if you just concentrate on this contraception. So you're not addressing the problem, but you're compounding the problem, I would say, Your Honor.
Of course, you do believe that natural method should be natural method.
It could be considered. It could be considered, Your
That is your
Honor.
belief. And at the same time, we have to respect the beliefs of other people that artificial contraceptions would also be applied, Madam Counsel. Artificial.
Yes, Your Honor, provided it doesn't go against other provisions of the Constitution, like the right to health, right to life of the unborn, and right to health of the people. Yes, people can exercise their freedom of choice, provided that's not going to affect the more fundamental rights of other people, like the right to life, which is the most fundamental among all human rights. So it enjoys, priority in system of hierarchy, Your Honor. Nobody is free to exercise a choice without considering the rights of others. I don't think that's what the Constitution says too, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Counsel.